Have you ever felt like the world is spinning too fast, and no matter how hard you try to catch up, you only fall further behind? That restless, uneasy feeling inside, the kind that whispers, you should be doing more, being more, can leave you exhausted, overwhelmed, and empty. But what if the very thing you're avoiding, the quiet stillness that feels like emptiness, is actually the greatest source of strength you've been searching for? Imagine for a moment that stillness isn't a void or a weakness. Instead, it's a secret power hiding in plain sight, waiting quietly inside you to be unlocked. This power doesn't come from pushing harder or running faster. It comes from learning to stop, to breathe, and to be fully present with yourself. It's a power that transforms fear into courage, confusion into clarity, and chaos into calm. You may have been conditioned to believe that constant activity defines your worth, that busyness equals progress, and that silence means failure or loneliness. But that's simply not true. In fact, when you step into stillness, you begin to peel away the layers of distraction and noise that cover your true potential. The pressure to keep moving, to fill every moment with noise and action, can feel unbearable. Yet that relentless rush drains your energy and blurs your vision. It steals your ability to think deeply, to connect authentically, and to listen to your inner voice. Stillness offers a different path, one where power isn't measured by speed but by depth. It asks you to embrace pause, to welcome silence, and to find peace in the spaces between your thoughts. What if choosing stillness was the key to reclaiming your life, to stepping into a version of yourself that is fearless and unstoppable? This journey isn't about giving up or surrendering to inertia. It's about recognizing that true power lies beneath the surface, in moments when you stop running from yourself and start showing up fully. When you learn to be still, you tap into a wellspring of strength that has always been inside you, but hidden beneath the noise of doubt and distraction. This power doesn't shout. It whispers gently, inviting you to listen deeply. It grounds you in the present and fuels your next steps with clarity and purpose. By the end of this message, you will see stillness in a new light. You'll understand why it's not emptiness, but a fierce, quiet force ready to transform your life. You'll discover how embracing stillness can give you the courage to face your fears, the clarity to make bold decisions, and the energy to move forward with unwavering confidence. This is an invitation to pause, not out of defeat, but as an act of courage and self-respect, to embrace the stillness that can reshape your mind, your heart, and your future. So stay with me. Lean into the quiet, and let this truth sink in. Stillness is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally, your hidden power in disguise. The transformation you crave begins here, in the space where you choose to be still. The world around you is loud, relentlessly loud. Every day, countless demands clamor for your attention, pulling you in 1,000 directions at once. Notifications ping, deadlines loom, voices compete, and inside your mind, a relentless chatter never truly stops. This constant noise isn't just external, it's inside you too. An endless loop of worry, doubt, and pressure that frays your focus and drains your strength. When your attention is scattered, your energy dissipates like sand slipping through your fingers. The louder the noise, the harder it becomes to hear your own truth. This noise keeps you trapped in a cycle where fear grows in the shadows and clarity becomes a distant memory. The body responds to this overstimulation by flooding your system with stress chemicals. Your heart races, muscles tense, and your mind races to catch up with itself. It's exhausting. This isn't just a feeling, it's a biological response. Your brain was never designed to sustain this constant state of chaos. Every moment overwhelmed by noise chips away at your resilience and leaves you vulnerable to burnout, anxiety, and emotional fatigue. Yet, in this overwhelming storm, you keep pushing harder. You believe that keeping busy will keep you safe, keep you worthy, keep you moving forward. But the truth is, this relentless pace steals your power. It blinds you from the quiet strength waiting inside. You may think that stillness means stopping, doing nothing, and that doing nothing is a waste of precious time. But stillness is not emptiness. It is the antidote to this chaos. When you step away from the noise, you give your mind a chance to reset, your body a chance to recover, and your soul a chance to reconnect. Stillness clears the fog created by overstimulation. It brings focus back to what truly matters. In the silence, fear loses its grip. The mind stops racing, and for the first time in a long time, you can hear the whispers of your deepest desires and your highest potential. This silence is a sanctuary, a place where your true self can emerge from beneath layers of distraction and doubt. Stillness invites you to reclaim control over your attention and your energy. It reminds you that power is not about how much noise you make or how fast you move. True power is about how deeply you can listen to yourself. It's about creating space for calm amid the storm. It's about choosing presence instead of reaction, clarity instead of confusion. When you break free from the tyranny of noise, you reclaim your ability to make clear decisions. You find the courage to say no to what drains you and yes to what fuels your growth. You begin to understand that your worth is not tied to constant activity, but to the quality of your presence. The world may demand speed and noise, but your soul demands stillness and depth. It is in that stillness that you find the strength to rise above fear, doubt, and overwhelm. You hold the key to a power far greater than what noise and busyness can offer, a power born from silence, patience, and presence. This power is ready for you now, waiting patiently beneath the noise, ready to guide you to a life of courage and clarity. Stillness does more than quiet the noise around you. It rewires the way your mind works at its very core. When you allow yourself to be still, your brain shifts from chaos into harmony. Neural pathways begin to reorganize, and the stress that once held you hostage starts to dissolve. Deep within your mind, there is a resting state network that activates only in moments of silence and calm. This network nurtures creativity, emotional balance, and self-awareness. It is during these moments of stillness that your brain heals, resets, and prepares you to face the world with renewed strength. Science reveals that when you engage with stillness, your brain reduces the production of stress hormones like cortisol, which keeps you from burning out. Instead, your system floods with chemicals that promote calm, focus, and well-being. This natural reset isn't just pleasant, it is essential. Without it, your mind becomes exhausted, fragmented, and reactive. Stillness provides the space your brain needs to recover and thrive, to see problems clearly, and to tap into deeper wisdom. In that space, fear loses its power to control you. Anxiety fades, replaced by a quiet confidence that comes from understanding yourself more deeply. You begin to see that your thoughts are not commands but passing clouds. You learn to observe them without judgment, without panic. This kind of mental clarity is not magic. It is a natural function of the mind in its healthiest state. But to reach it, you must create moments to be still. Your nervous system craves this calm. When you ignore it, the pressure builds until you break under the weight of constant stimulation. This is why you feel tired even after a full night's sleep, why you feel overwhelmed even when nothing urgent demands your attention. Your brain is screaming for rest, for silence, for stillness. When you finally answer that call, you open the door to transformation. Stillness sharpens your focus and renews your creativity. It allows you to access insights that are buried beneath the noise of daily life. The answers you seek are not found in frantic activity, but in quiet reflection. Stillness brings you closer to your true self, revealing what you really want and what no longer serves you. It is in these moments of calm that you reconnect with your purpose and ignite your inner fire. This inner fire fuels courage and resilience, giving you the strength to face challenges with grace rather than desperation. You become a master of your mind rather than a victim of your fears. Stillness strengthens your ability to regulate emotions, making you less reactive and more intentional. You gain control over how you respond to stress and setbacks. This isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about embracing them without being overwhelmed. Through stillness, you build a foundation of emotional stability that supports lasting change. You begin to realize that the most powerful transformations start not with external action, but with internal alignment. When your mind is calm and your emotions balanced, every choice you make carries weight and purpose. The power of stillness is the power to reset your brain, to heal your mind, and to reclaim your life from chaos. It is a force that leads you out of exhaustion and into clarity, from fear into courage, from confusion into confident action. This power is always within you, waiting for the moment you choose to be still and listen. Stillness is not simply a pause, it is a powerful reset that clears the clutter within and reveals your true clarity. When you allow yourself to step into stillness, you give your mind and soul permission to breathe deeply. It is in this sacred space that you can separate what truly matters from the endless noise that tries to distract you. Imagine clearing away the fog that clouds your judgment, the endless swirling thoughts that keep you stuck in worry and indecision. Stillness cuts through that fog with precision. It strips away the layers of doubt and confusion until all that remains is the unshakable core of your being. This is where clarity is born, not from rushing or forcing answers, but from patient, quiet observation. Clarity born from stillness is different. It is rooted in truth, grounded in your deepest values and desires. When your mind is still, your inner compass recalibrates, guiding you toward decisions that align with your authentic self. This clarity ignites courage because when you know who you are and what you stand for, fear loses its grip. Fear thrives in uncertainty and distraction, but stillness exposes fear's illusions. The moment you become still, you become present, and presence is the antidote to fear. In stillness, the power to confront what scares you grows stronger. You begin to see fear not as an enemy, but as a signal, a guide pointing you toward growth. This shift in perspective is transformative. Instead of running from fear or drowning in it, you meet it with calm, clear eyes. Stillness allows you to breathe through the discomfort, to hold space for your vulnerabilities without judgment. This space is where courage is born, quiet, steady, and unyielding. It is the courage that keeps you grounded when everything feels uncertain, courage that lets you choose your path even when the way is unclear. You don't have to rush to act. You don't have to pretend to have all the answers. Stillness teaches you that the most profound strength comes from being fully present with yourself in moments of uncertainty. When you practice stillness, you cultivate patience, patience with your progress, patience with your fears, patience with the process of growth. This patience is not passive resignation. It is an active, powerful force that fuels persistence and resilience. Through stillness, you learn that transformation is not about quick fixes, but steady, intentional steps. You begin to trust that every moment of calm is preparing you for your next breakthrough. You realize that the greatest power isn't found in rushing towards success, but in embracing the quiet moments that build your foundation. Stillness is where you connect with your inner strength, the unshakable part of you that can weather any storm. It is here that you reclaim your power from the chaos and noise of life. It is here you discover that stillness is not emptiness. It is power in disguise. When you choose stillness, you step into a life of clarity, courage, and unwavering strength. This choice is a radical act of self-love and self-respect. It is the beginning of a new way to live, rooted not in frantic doing, but in intentional being. Stillness is your power. It is your truth. It is waiting for you to claim it. Stillness has a way of revealing what lies beneath the surface, the fears you hide, the doubts you push away, and the emotions you avoid. When everything around you is noisy, it's easy to ignore these inner truths, but in stillness, there is nowhere to hide. This can be uncomfortable, even frightening. The silence forces you to face parts of yourself you've been running from, and that confrontation can feel overwhelming. Yet, it is precisely in this confrontation that courage is born. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to stand firm in its presence. Stillness demands this courage. It asks you to stay with your fear rather than flee, to look at it clearly without judgment or panic. This is not weakness, it is profound strength. When you meet fear with stillness, it begins to lose its power over you. The frantic energy that fear generates slowly dissipates, replaced by a calm confidence that you can handle whatever comes. Fear transforms from a paralyzing force into a signal, guiding you toward growth and transformation. This is the hidden gift of stillness. It doesn't shield you from fear, it teaches you to befriend it. The mind, once clouded with worry and resistance, begins to settle into clarity and acceptance. You start to see that fear is part of the process, not the enemy. In stillness, you develop a new relationship with your inner world. You become an observer, a witness to your thoughts and emotions instead of being swept away by them. This shift is liberating. It gives you power over your inner landscape, allowing you to choose your responses rather than react impulsively. You become more grounded, less reactive, and more intentional in your actions. This kind of emotional mastery is the foundation of true courage. Stillness teaches you patience with yourself and the process of growth. It reveals that transformation is rarely instantaneous. Real change happens in the quiet, often invisible moments when you show up again and again with honesty and grace. Each moment of stillness builds your resilience. It strengthens your ability to withstand challenges without losing sight of your purpose. This resilience is what enables you to persist through setbacks and fears without giving up. You begin to understand that power isn't about rushing forward blindly. It's about steady progress, fueled by clarity and courage found in silence. Stillness sharpens your ability to listen deeply to your inner voice, your intuition, and the subtle signals from life. This deep listening connects you with a wisdom greater than fear or doubt. It guides you toward decisions that align with your true self and highest good. When you embrace stillness, you reclaim your ability to choose courage over fear, presence over distraction, authenticity over pretense. This choice transforms your experience of life. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of noise and reaction. It opens a path to peace, clarity, and empowered action. Stillness is the doorway through which your deepest courage emerges. It is the quiet power that enables you to face fear with grace and transform it into unstoppable strength. This power has always been within you, patiently waiting for your willingness to be still and truly see. Stillness is not only a refuge from the chaos, it is a doorway to profound self-awareness, the foundation for lasting transformation. When you enter this space of quiet, you begin to peel back the layers of conditioning, expectation, and fear that have shaped your identity. You realize that much of what you believed about yourself, your limitations, your doubts, your fears, are not truths, but stories you've been told or stories you've created. This realization is both humbling and liberating. It frees you from the weight of false beliefs and opens a path toward discovering who you truly are beneath the noise. In stillness, you cultivate the ability to witness your thoughts without being controlled by them. This mental distance creates space for choice, the space where transformation begins. Instead of reacting automatically to every fear or impulse, you start responding with intention and wisdom. This shift rewires your brain and rewrites your story. You learn that your identity is fluid, not fixed, that you are not your fears, but the awareness behind them. This awareness is a source of incredible power because it allows you to break free from limiting patterns that once held you captive. The power of stillness is deeply psychological. It changes the way you relate to yourself and your world. It strengthens your internal dialogue, transforming self-criticism into self-compassion. When you are still, you hear the gentle voice within that says you are enough, that your worth is not dependent on achievement or approval. This compassionate self-awareness fuels resilience, enabling you to face challenges without losing faith in yourself. Stillness also helps you reconnect with your intuition, your inner guidance system. In the noise of everyday life, intuition is often drowned out by logic, fear, and external opinions. But stillness sharpens your ability to listen to this quiet inner voice that knows what is best for you. Acting from intuition is acting from alignment, from a place of deep trust in your own wisdom. This alignment between mind, heart, and soul is where authentic power lives. When you move through life from this place of stillness and alignment, your actions carry weight and purpose. You stop wasting energy on distractions, second-guessing, or chasing validation. Instead, you move forward with clarity and confidence because your path is illuminated by inner truth. The practice of stillness builds momentum that ripples through every part of your life. It makes you less susceptible to external pressures and more anchored in your own values. It cultivates patience with your own growth, knowing transformation is a process, not a destination. Stillness deepens your connection to the present moment, the only moment where true power exists. It teaches you that power is not loud or aggressive. It is quiet, steady, and grounded. It is the strength to hold space for your fears and doubts without being overwhelmed. It is the courage to listen deeply, to act wisely, and to rest when needed. This power is subtle yet unstoppable. It is yours for the taking. When you embrace stillness fully, you awaken to a life of deeper meaning, greater courage, and unwavering authenticity. The stillness you resist is the very power you seek. Choose it, and you choose yourself. You have spent so much of your life trying to outrun discomfort, fear, uncertainty, doubt, and yet these feelings keep catching up with you no matter how fast you run. The truth is, running only intensifies the chaos inside. Stillness offers something radically different. It asks you to stop running and to face what you have been avoiding. This is not an easy invitation. Facing discomfort head-on requires courage, honesty, and patience. But it is through this confrontation that transformation unfolds. When you are still, discomfort loses its power to control you. You begin to see it not as a threat, but as a message, a signal pointing toward growth and awakening. This shift in perception changes everything. Instead of resisting discomfort, you learn to embrace it as part of the journey. You understand that every moment of discomfort is an opportunity to deepen your resilience and strengthen your inner foundation. In stillness, you develop a new kind of relationship with your emotions. You stop judging yourself for feeling fear, sadness, or doubt. You acknowledge these feelings as natural responses to change and uncertainty. This acceptance softens your inner critic and opens the door to self-compassion. Self-compassion is not weakness, it is the courage to be gentle with yourself in moments of struggle. It is the quiet strength that fuels perseverance when the path feels steep and unsteady. Stillness cultivates this strength by giving you space to process your emotions fully without rushing or suppressing them. This space is where healing begins. It is where you reclaim your power from the grip of painful feelings. When you practice stillness, you train your mind to stay present, even when discomfort arises. This presence is a powerful skill. It allows you to witness pain without becoming overwhelmed, to hold difficult emotions without reacting impulsively. This capacity for presence creates a deep sense of safety within yourself. You become your own refuge, your own source of comfort and strength. This internal refuge is invaluable because life will always bring challenges. Stillness prepares you to face these challenges with grace rather than fear. It builds emotional resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity stronger and wiser. Beyond resilience, stillness nurtures clarity. When you are still, your mind becomes a calm lake reflecting your deepest truths. In this clarity, confusion dissolves and choices become clear. You no longer feel trapped by indecision or paralyzed by fear. Instead, you act from a place of inner knowing. This clarity aligns your actions with your highest values and deepest purpose. The power of stillness lies not only in what it reveals, but in how it transforms your relationship with yourself. You move from self-judgment to self-acceptance, from resistance to flow, from fear to courage. This transformation is profound because it rewires your inner world, creating a foundation of peace and strength that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. The stillness you resist is the very place where your true power lives. When you stop avoiding discomfort and lean into stillness, you discover a wellspring of courage and clarity that will carry you through any storm. This is the power waiting inside you now, quiet, steady, and unstoppable. Stillness is not a withdrawal from life, but an invitation to step deeper into it. It is the foundation upon which true courage, clarity, and creativity are built. When your world feels overwhelming, your mind scattered, and your heart heavy, stillness offers a sanctuary, a place where you can reconnect with your essence and realign with your purpose. This realignment is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Without it, your actions become reactive, your decisions fragmented, and your spirit drained. Stillness is the space where intention is born. When you cultivate stillness, you create fertile ground for your deepest desires and truest goals to emerge clearly. This clarity is empowering because it frees you from confusion and doubt. You begin to see what matters most and recognize what no longer serves you. With this insight, your energy is no longer wasted on distractions or fears. Instead, it flows steadily toward meaningful progress. Stillness also sharpens your ability to listen to yourself, to others, and to the subtle signals of life. In the noisy rush of daily existence, these messages often go unheard, leaving you disconnected and uncertain. Through stillness, you heighten your awareness and deepen your connection to your inner wisdom. This connection builds confidence. You trust yourself more because you are tuned into your own guidance rather than being swayed by external pressures or fleeting emotions. This trust fuels decisive action rooted in authenticity rather than reaction. The courage to choose this path comes from embracing stillness as an active practice, not a passive retreat. Stillness requires commitment and discipline. It asks you to resist the urge to fill every moment with noise, distraction, or busyness. Instead, it calls for intentional pauses. Moments where you step back, breathe, and observe without judgment. These pauses are powerful. They interrupt patterns of overwhelm and impulsivity, allowing you to reset your mind and recalibrate your emotions. Over time, these intentional moments build a reservoir of resilience and calm. When challenges arise, you draw from this reservoir rather than being swept away by stress or anxiety. Stillness also unlocks creativity in ways that frantic activity cannot. When the mind is cluttered, creative ideas struggle to surface. In the quiet of stillness, your mind can wander freely and make new connections. This mental spaciousness sparks innovation and problem solving. It opens pathways to solutions that felt out of reach in the noise. Your potential expands in the silence because you create room for growth and possibility. The power of stillness is subtle yet profound. It transforms how you relate to yourself and the world. It shifts you from reaction to response, from distraction to focus, and from fear to fearless presence. This shift creates a ripple effect in every area of your life, your work, your relationships, and your sense of fulfillment. Stillness is not emptiness, it is fullness waiting to be embraced. It is strength disguised as quiet. It is the key to unlocking your highest potential and living with purpose. When you choose stillness, you choose power, you choose clarity, you choose yourself. Stillness is often misunderstood because the world around you celebrates constant movement, noise, and visible action. Yet, beneath the surface of all that rushing lies a quiet force waiting to be acknowledged, a force that grows stronger each time you pause and embrace silence. This force is your inner power, the core of your being that does not need to shout to be heard. It moves in subtle ways, steady and unwavering, like the roots of a tree holding firm beneath a storm. The challenge is to trust that power without needing external validation or distraction. It asks you to slow down enough to recognize that true strength is not loud or aggressive, but calm and grounded. In stillness, you become aware of the energy you carry, the tension, the unresolved emotions, the mental chatter, and you give yourself permission to release them. This release is not weakness, but a courageous act of self-care. It clears space for new energy to flow, for fresh ideas, and for clarity to emerge. When you allow yourself this breathing room, your mind sharpens, your emotions balance, and your body feels lighter. You start to understand that power flows through you, not because of what you do or achieve, but because of how deeply you connect with your own presence. This presence is your greatest asset. It anchors you in moments of uncertainty and fuels your resilience when life tests your limits. It is the quiet voice reminding you of your worth, your potential, and your ability to rise. Stillness trains your mind to break free from patterns of distraction and overthinking. When you practice being still, you weaken the hold of negative thoughts that feed anxiety and self-doubt. You cultivate mental space where positive, empowering beliefs can take root and grow. This mental shift rewires your brain, reinforcing new pathways of confidence, focus, and peace. The more you embrace stillness, the less you feel driven by fear or external pressures. Instead, you move from a place of intentionality. Your decisions become clearer because they emerge from a centered mind, not a reactive one. This intentionality is revolutionary. It changes the way you approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. You stop reacting to circumstances and start creating your reality with purpose. Stillness also deepens your empathy and connection with others. When you are grounded in your own presence, you listen more fully, respond more thoughtfully, and hold space for others without losing yourself. This compassionate connection strengthens relationships and creates a supportive environment where growth can flourish. The power of stillness is transformative because it touches every aspect of your life, your mindset, your emotions, your relationships, and your actions. It is a force that builds quietly but carries immense weight. It empowers you to break free from chaos and find your center, even in the most turbulent times. Stillness is not a pause to wait for life to happen. It is the action that enables life to unfold with depth and meaning. It is the power that turns inner calm into outward strength, hesitation into decisive movement, and confusion into clarity. When you embrace stillness, you claim your power in its purest form. You step into a life of balance, courage, and authenticity. The stillness you have resisted all along is the power you have been seeking. Stillness invites you to slow down in a world that constantly pushes you to speed up. It asks you to create space, not just around you, but within you, where you can reconnect with your deepest self. This internal space is not empty. It is alive with potential. It holds the seeds of insight, healing, and transformation. When you embrace stillness, you give yourself permission to step away from the noise and distraction that keep your mind scattered and your heart unsettled. You open the door to clarity and calm, allowing the swirling storm of thoughts and emotions to settle. In this calm, you begin to see things as they truly are, without the distortions of fear or urgency. The power of stillness lies in its ability to ground you in the present moment, the only moment where real change can occur. When you are fully present, you access a deeper part of yourself that is wise, resilient, and creative. This presence empowers you to respond rather than react, to choose rather than be driven by impulse or habit. It is here, in the quiet center of stillness, that your true power takes shape. You start to recognize that your worth and strength are not defined by your productivity or the approval of others. Instead, they come from a steady, unwavering connection to your inner being. This realization transforms how you move through life. You no longer feel compelled to prove yourself or to fill every moment with action to feel valuable. Instead, you trust in the power of your presence and the wisdom it brings. Stillness sharpens your awareness of your thoughts and feelings, allowing you to notice patterns that limit you and to gently shift away from them. This self-awareness is the foundation of self-mastery, the ability to direct your mind and emotions rather than being controlled by them. As you practice stillness, you build mental clarity that cuts through confusion and doubt. You develop emotional resilience that cushions you in times of stress and uncertainty. These qualities are essential for growth because they keep you grounded when life becomes challenging. Stillness also enhances your creativity. When your mind is quiet, new ideas emerge naturally, like sunlight breaking through clouds. You tap into innovative solutions and fresh perspectives that remain hidden in noise and distraction. This creative flow connects you to a deeper source of inspiration within yourself. The courage to embrace stillness is the courage to embrace vulnerability, the willingness to be with yourself fully even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. This vulnerability is not a weakness, but a powerful act of authenticity and strength. It allows you to face life's challenges with honesty and grace, knowing that true power lies in being real, not perfect. Stillness teaches you patience with your own journey. Transformation is not a race, but a gradual unfolding. Each moment of quiet presence builds the foundation for lasting change. You learn to trust the process, even when progress feels slow or invisible. This trust is a profound gift that frees you from frustration and self-doubt. The stillness you resist is the power you need to move forward with clarity, courage, and confidence. When you lean into this quiet strength, you awaken to your full potential and step into a life of purpose and peace. Stillness is the silent forge where your true power is shaped. In a culture that prizes speed and constant doing, it may feel counterintuitive to slow down, to pause, and to sit quietly with yourself. Yet, it is in these moments of intentional stillness that you reclaim your authority over your mind, your emotions, and your life. You begin to realize that the relentless pressure to act, to prove, to achieve can actually dilute your strength. True power is not found in endless activity, but in measured presence, a presence that is deeply rooted and unshaken by the chaos swirling around you. When you practice stillness, you build a resilient inner foundation that cannot be cracked by external turmoil. This foundation is not built overnight. It is crafted gradually through countless moments of choosing calm over reaction, clarity over confusion, and trust over fear. Stillness invites you to witness your thoughts without judgment, to feel your emotions without resistance, and to simply be with what is. This practice strengthens your capacity to hold space for yourself even when life feels overwhelming. The more you engage with stillness, the more you notice the automatic impulses that steer you off course, the doubt that sneaks in, the fears that rise up, the distractions that scatter your focus. Instead of battling these forces with force, stillness teaches you to observe them with kindness and curiosity. This shift from resistance to acceptance is transformative. It diffuses the energy of negativity and frees you to redirect your attention toward what truly matters. Stillness creates a pause where power is reclaimed. It interrupts the cycle of stress and reaction, giving you a moment to choose how you want to respond. This choice is where freedom lives, the freedom to act from your highest self rather than from survival instincts or conditioned patterns. The strength you cultivate through stillness is subtle but undeniable. It manifests as a calm confidence that radiates from within. This confidence does not need to shout or dominate. It simply is. It allows you to navigate challenges with steady focus, to hold difficult conversations with grace, and to pursue your goals with unwavering determination. Stillness also opens the door to deep creativity. When your mind is not cluttered with noise, it becomes fertile ground for new ideas and insights. You begin to see possibilities that were hidden before, and you access solutions that arise naturally from your inner wisdom. This creative clarity enhances your ability to innovate and adapt in all areas of life. Choosing stillness requires courage because it asks you to confront your fears of silence, solitude, and vulnerability. It challenges the belief that you must always be doing to be worthy. Embracing stillness means trusting that your value is inherent and that your inner power grows strongest when nurtured quietly. This trust is the key to sustained transformation. It shifts you from a frantic pursuit of success to a purposeful, balanced life grounded in self-awareness and inner strength. Stillness is not absence, it is presence at its fullest. It is the power within you waiting patiently to be recognized and embraced. When you step into this power, you move beyond survival and into mastery, beyond reaction and into intentional living. The stillness you cultivate today becomes the source of your greatest strength tomorrow. There is a profound strength in choosing stillness amidst the chaos of life. When everything around you demands your attention, your energy, your constant reaction, choosing to be still feels like an act of rebellion, and a deeply necessary one. Stillness is not about shutting down, it is about tuning in. It is about listening to the quiet truths beneath the noise, those whispers of your inner self that guide you toward clarity and courage. In the absence of movement and distraction, you discover that your mind is not a problem to be solved, but a tool to be mastered. This mastery begins with awareness that allows you to step back from the endless stream of thoughts and feelings and observe them without judgment. This shift is powerful because it creates distance between you and the internal chatter that often clouds your judgment. As you practice stillness, you develop the ability to choose which thoughts to engage with and which to let pass. This choice is where freedom lies. It is here you find the courage to face discomfort, uncertainty, and fear without being overwhelmed by them. Stillness rewires your brain to reduce reactivity and increase resilience. The mental space created by quiet moments fosters emotional balance, helping you respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. This emotional regulation strengthens your relationships, decision-making, and overall well-being. Beyond mental clarity and emotional resilience, stillness is a source of immense creativity. It is in the quiet that your mind can connect seemingly unrelated ideas, generating innovative solutions and fresh perspectives. This creative flow is a gift that becomes accessible when you stop chasing answers and instead allow them to emerge naturally. Stillness also deepens your connection with your values and purpose. When the noise dims, you hear the call of what truly matters to you. This clarity aligns your actions with your authentic self, transforming your goals from external expectations into meaningful pursuits. The discipline to cultivate stillness is an act of self-love. It means prioritizing your inner life in a world that often rewards busyness and distraction. This self-love empowers you to set boundaries, say no to what drains you, and say yes to what nourishes your soul. Through stillness, you reclaim your energy and direct it toward growth and fulfillment. Choosing stillness is not always comfortable. It requires patience and persistence because your mind will resist at first, seeking familiar patterns of distraction. Yet, each time you return to stillness, you build strength. You train your nervous system to find calm in the storm. You create a sanctuary within yourself that no external circumstance can shake. This sanctuary becomes the source of your courage, the courage to stand firm in your truth, to take risks aligned with your vision, and to persevere through setbacks. The power of stillness is not about control or domination. It is about surrender, surrendering the illusion that you must always be in motion to be worthy. It is about trusting that your presence alone holds immense value, and that your greatest achievements come from a place of centered calm. When you embrace stillness, you tap into a wellspring of inner power that propels you forward with clarity, confidence, and grace. This power is your birthright, waiting patiently beneath the surface of noise and haste. It is yours to claim. True power is never hurried. It doesn't rush or push. It moves with patience and purpose. When you embrace stillness, you step into this timeless flow. You learn to trust that the answers you seek, the breakthroughs you crave, and the strength you need are already within you, waiting quietly beneath the surface, ready to rise when given space. This trust transforms your relationship with yourself and the world. It replaces anxiety with confidence, doubt with certainty, and chaos with calm. Stillness allows your mind to rest from the endless demands of modern life, where every moment is saturated with noise and distraction. In this rest, your brain can reorganize and heal. Neuroscience shows that the brain's default mode network, the area responsible for self-reflection, creativity, and emotional regulation, activates in moments of quiet and rest. When you cultivate stillness, you tap into this natural mechanism that restores your mental and emotional balance. This restoration is not passive. It actively fuels your capacity to think clearly, act wisely, and connect deeply. The stillness you create is like fertile soil where your inner potential can take root and grow. It strengthens your resilience so you can face challenges with steadiness rather than fear. It nurtures your clarity so you can make decisions aligned with your true self rather than external pressures. It expands your creativity so solutions arise naturally, not forced or rushed. Stillness reshapes your internal landscape. You start to notice the subtle shifts in your energy, the quiet moments of insight, and the gentle guidance of your intuition. These shifts are the markers of growth, the signs that your inner power is awakening. This awakening is a process of reclaiming yourself, your time, your focus, your energy from the relentless pull of distraction and busyness. It is a radical act of self-respect. As you lean into stillness, you cultivate a deep patience with your journey. Transformation does not happen overnight. It is a gradual unfolding. Each moment of calm presence adds strength and depth to your character. You become less reactive, more thoughtful, and increasingly aligned with your purpose. This patience frees you from the need for immediate results or constant validation. You learn to trust the process and honor the timing of your own growth. Stillness is a powerful teacher of boundaries. It helps you recognize what drains your energy and what nourishes it. This awareness empowers you to say no to distractions, negativity, and demands that don't serve your highest good. In setting these boundaries, you protect the sacred space where your power grows. The courage to be still is the courage to be fully yourself, without apology or pretense. It is the courage to honor your needs and values, even when the world encourages constant action. This courage transforms your life from a frantic chase into a purposeful, intentional journey. When you embrace stillness, you are not stepping back, you are stepping into your most potent self. You are claiming the quiet power that has always been inside you, the power to create, to heal, to lead, and to live with unwavering authenticity. This power is yours to claim right now, in this very moment of calm. Stillness is the foundation upon which real strength is built. It is not a weakness or a pause in your journey, but the very source of your most powerful actions. When you allow yourself to be still, you create a space where your true self can emerge from beneath layers of noise, fear, and distraction. This emergence is not always comfortable because stillness forces you to confront the parts of yourself you often ignore, the doubts, the insecurities, the raw truth. Yet in facing these parts with courage and compassion, you begin to dismantle the barriers that have kept you small and scattered. Stillness acts as a mirror reflecting your inner world with brutal honesty, and this reflection is a gift. It is an invitation to grow beyond your limitations and step into a larger version of yourself. Within this quiet space, your mind becomes sharper, your emotions clearer, and your spirit steadier. This clarity brings with it a deep knowing that you are enough, not because of what you do or achieve, but because of who you are at your core. The power in stillness is not flashy or loud, it is steady and enduring. It gives you the resilience to weather life's storms without losing your center. This resilience arises from a deep connection to your inner wellspring of peace and strength. When challenges come, you respond from this place rather than from panic or reaction. This response is transformative because it changes the energy around you. Instead of fueling chaos, you become a calm force that can influence and uplift. Stillness also sharpens your focus. In a world full of distractions, your ability to concentrate is a rare and precious skill. When you cultivate stillness regularly, you train your brain to resist the pull of constant stimulation. You learn to direct your attention intentionally, allowing you to pursue your goals with greater efficiency and purpose. This focused energy leads to momentum that builds on itself, propelling you forward with confidence. Beyond mental clarity, stillness deepens your intuition, the subtle inner voice that guides you toward wise choices and meaningful connections. This intuition is often drowned out by the noise of everyday life, but it thrives in the quiet. Listening to your intuition requires trust and patience, and stillness is the practice that nurtures both. As you become more attuned to this inner guidance, you navigate life with a sense of ease and alignment that feels both powerful and peaceful. Embracing stillness means embracing vulnerability, the willingness to be fully present with yourself and your experience even when it is difficult. This vulnerability is not weakness, it is a profound act of courage that opens the door to authenticity and deeper connection. Through stillness, you break free from the fear of being not enough and step into the freedom of being exactly who you are. Stillness is your sanctuary and your source of power. It invites you to slow down, breathe deeply, and reconnect with the essence of your being. This reconnection awakens a quiet strength within you, one that can transform fear into faith, confusion into clarity, and hesitation into bold action. When you claim the power of stillness, you unlock the limitless potential that has always been inside you, waiting to rise. Every moment you choose stillness, you are reclaiming your power from a world that profits from your distraction. The constant pull of noise, obligations, and endless stimulation can feel suffocating. It masks the voice within that knows your deepest desires and your highest purpose. Yet, the courage to be still is the courage to listen to yourself first. This act of listening is a radical step toward freedom. It strips away the illusions that keep you tethered to fear, comparison, and doubt. When you cultivate stillness, you cultivate presence. Presence is the space where transformation begins. It allows you to witness your thoughts and feelings without being overwhelmed by them. This witnessing is not passive observation, it is active engagement with your own truth. It builds emotional intelligence and mental clarity, essential ingredients for lasting change. Stillness teaches you that your worth is not measured by your productivity or how busy you appear. Your value lies in simply being present, being authentic, being you. This shift in identity is profound because it releases the pressure to prove yourself constantly. You no longer need to chase approval or external markers of success. Instead, you find fulfillment in the deep, knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. This acceptance fuels genuine confidence, which radiates from within and touches every aspect of your life. When you embrace stillness, you gain access to a deeper level of creativity and insight. Your mind, no longer cluttered with incessant noise, begins to see connections and possibilities that were hidden before. This creative clarity empowers you to solve problems with ease and innovate beyond your previous limits. The power of stillness lies in its ability to reset your nervous system. Chronic stress wears down your body and mind, clouding judgment and draining energy. Stillness activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest, repair, and recovery. This activation rejuvenates you, enabling you to face challenges with renewed strength and calm determination. The practice of stillness is a form of self-care that transforms how you relate to yourself and the world. It encourages compassion, patience, and forgiveness, qualities that soften resistance and open the door to healing. In these moments of calm, you learn to let go of what no longer serves you, old fears, limiting beliefs, toxic relationships, and make space for growth and possibility. Stillness is also a powerful tool for building resilience. Life will inevitably bring hardships and setbacks, but the groundedness you cultivate through stillness acts as an anchor. It prevents you from being swept away by emotional storms and empowers you to navigate difficulties with grace and strength. Ultimately, stillness is a path to empowerment. It reconnects you with your inner compass, guiding you toward choices that align with your highest good. This alignment creates momentum that carries you forward with clarity and confidence. When you claim the power of stillness, you are not withdrawing from life. You are stepping fully into it, grounded, centered, and unstoppable. This is the quiet revolution within you, waiting to awaken and transform everything. When you fully embrace stillness, you begin to recognize its true power, not as a void, but as a vibrant source of energy waiting to be harnessed. This energy is subtle yet profound. It is the calm before the storm, the pause that precedes your most decisive action. The ability to hold space for yourself without distraction builds a foundation of inner strength that cannot be shaken by external chaos. Stillness sharpens your awareness, allowing you to notice the whispers of your intuition and the undercurrents of your emotions before they swell into overwhelming waves. This heightened sensitivity is a gift, giving you the chance to respond with wisdom rather than react out of habit or fear. Through stillness, you cultivate a deeper connection to your authentic self, the part of you untouched by doubt, insecurity, or external noise. This connection grounds you in a reality that is more enduring than any temporary success or failure. It reminds you that your value is inherent, not conditional on achievement or approval. When you access this core truth, you unlock a wellspring of confidence that radiates outward, influencing every decision and interaction with clarity and purpose. The practice of stillness also rewires your mind. Scientific research shows that moments of quiet allow the brain to consolidate memories, process emotions, and boost creativity. In these moments, your mind is not idle. It is working deeply behind the scenes, preparing you for breakthrough moments that feel effortless because they are rooted in profound understanding. This natural rhythm of pause and action is essential for sustainable growth. Pushing constantly without rest leads to burnout and diminished returns. Stillness recharges your mental, emotional, and physical reserves, preparing you to perform at your highest level when it matters most. Stillness invites you to become comfortable with uncertainty and discomfort. Often we flee from silence because it forces us to face unresolved feelings or fears. Yet, this confrontation is where transformation lives. When you meet your fears with stillness, you diminish their power over you. You discover that fear is often a story your mind tells, a projection, not reality. Holding steady in stillness allows you to dismantle these stories and replace them with truth. You are capable, resilient, and ready. In this space, your potential expands exponentially. Stillness empowers you to break free from reactive cycles and habitual patterns that limit your growth. It grants you the freedom to choose your responses consciously, align your actions with your deepest values, and create a life that feels purposeful and fulfilling. This freedom is the ultimate expression of power. It is not about control over others or circumstances, but mastery over your inner world. Your true power emerges when you stop rushing, stop forcing, and instead allow yourself to be fully present. It is here in the quiet that your greatest strength is forged. This strength will carry you through challenges, fuel your dreams, and inspire those around you. Stillness is not emptiness. It is the fertile ground from which your fullest life grows. Embrace it and watch how your world transforms.